Hi guys, welcome to Bible Breakdown. I missed yesterday, so we're doing 2 chapters today, chapter 48 and 49. Then we have one more chapter left. Tomorrow's the last day of Genesis, and then we will move on to our next chapter. And I'll tell you guys that tomorrow. But today we're doing chapter 48 and 49. So chapter 48 is about Joseph's sons, and because I can't pronounce their name, I'm just going to call them by their first initial. So that's going to be E and M. So somebody told Joseph that his father's getting very weak, so he takes his 2 sons and he goes to see him. And Jacob's like, oh, my son's coming to see me. Like, let me get some strength to sit up to, talk with him. So Jacob is telling Joseph about the blessing that God has given him in the land of Luz. So Jacob is telling Joseph how God said he'll be fruitful and numerous, and he'll have many nations come from him. And he also said, and I will give this land as a permanent possession to your future descendants. Then Jacob tells Joseph, your 2 sons are mine. Word for word, he says, your 2 sons born to you in the land of Egypt before I came to Egypt are now mine. And then he kind of reassures Joseph, when your kids have kids, it's going to be the same for you. So Israel, or Jacob, he finally sees Joseph's sons, and he's like, who are these people? And Joseph's like, oh, these are the sons that I was blessed with in this land. These are the sons that God blessed me with. So Jacob is like, oh, bring them over here. I'll come and bless them. Then he says to Joseph, I never expected to see your face again, but now God has even let me see your offspring. That's kind of sad but sweet. It's like, I never thought I was going to see you again because I thought you were dead. But here you are. And here are your kids. That's what's up. So remember the initials E and M, but I'm going to try and say their names because y'all just going to bear with me, okay? So E is Ephraim, and he's the second born, and M is Manasseh, and he's the firstborn. So Ephraim, he is on the left side of Israel/Jacob, and Manasseh is on the right side of Israel/Jacob. But then it says instead of putting his right hand on the oldest, he actually crossed his hands and put his right hand on the youngest. I'm thinking that there's value in the side, in the hand that you're being blessed with. So the oldest one is supposed to be blessed with the right hand and the youngest with the left, but he switched them. So now Israel Jacob, he is blessing the boys, and he's like, may the God that protect me and the angels that watch over me bless these boys. And he says, may they grow to be numerous within the land. Okay. So now Joseph, he peeps. He's like, hold on, the hands are switched. What's going on here? You're supposed to bless the oldest one with the right, youngest one with the left type thing. So he thinks that this is a mistake, and he tries to grab his father's hand and move them. And he says, not that way, my father. This one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. So Israel/Jacob, he actually refuses Joseph, and he's like, no, I know who's older, I know, but this is how I want it to be. He tells Joseph his younger brother will be greater than him, and his offspring will become a populous nation. And then he ends up putting the younger one over the older one by putting the younger one's name first in the blessing. So now Israel Jacob, he's like, listen, I'm about to die, but God will still be with you guys. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. And then he tells Joseph, I'm giving you the one mountain slope that I took from the Amorites with my sword and bow. So that's the end of chapter 48. Now, chapter 49, let's talk about it. I'm not really going to be breaking down this chapter because, one, these are Jacob's last words, okay? He basically goes through every single one of his sons and prophesies over them, blesses them, says his last words to each of them. As I was reading, some of them made sense to me, some of them didn't, and I'm not about to make up something and be like, yeah, this is what I think. Nah. So if y'all sorry, I'm being for real right now. But if y'all want to know exactly what Jacob says to all his 12 sons, chapter 49 will tell you that. But at the end of the chapter, verse 28 says, these are the tribes of Israel, 12 in all, and this is what their father said to them. He blessed them, and he blessed each one with a subtle blessing. Then at the end of the chapter, he basically tells all his sons, I want to be buried where my ancestors were buried. And he wants to be buried where Abraham bought that little burial spot for Sarah. He wants to be buried there. So it states, Abraham and his wife Sarah are buried there. Isaac and his wife Rebekah are buried there, and I buried Leah there. Then at the end, the last verse 33 says, When Jacob had finished giving charges to his sons, he drew his feet into the bed, took his last breath, and was gathered to his people. So Israel, Jacob has passed away now, and then we have one more chapter, and that's the end of Genesis. I'm sorry guys, this wasn't as informative as the other ones, but this is what I got for y'all, okay? I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I love y'all. God loves y'all more. See you tomorrow.